Go on. Pick two.
And we will start with item 19, which is the DCL report. So if the DCL representatives would like to come to the table, please. Thank you for waiting. We're aware that you were waiting for some time before lunch. Good to be able to get you to the table now. So this is for item 19. And just for the benefit of councillors, obviously there are matters in the open agenda DCL report. There are also matters in the public excluded part of that report. So if there are any questions on the public excluded matters, if we can leave those till the public excluded section of the meeting. Rob, good afternoon. Did you want to start with some words of introduction?
Yeah, good afternoon, Nick. Thank you for having us here today. The only one I'll pick up on today is just to update that the hot pools project is part of the regeneration project for New Brighton and is progressing really, really well. Last night we had the last of the community meetings for input to the final design, which followed from input from the very highly effective Coastal Community Board last week. So we're now making final amendments to the drawings and designs ready to make the resource consent application in the coming weeks.
Thank you. Are there any questions for DCL on this part of the report? Dion.
So on the playground, I've had a couple of comments, or seen a couple of comments, and had one to me directly about the quality of the waka on the finishing that's starting to sort of peel. Have you got an update about what's actually planned there, or is that need to be refixed?
Yeah, so I'm not aware of the specific concern regarding that wear and tear. I am aware of some of the comments that of the current state of the park, which is a result of a very, very heavy use. But we also retained aspects of budget for some additional works and tied out the waka. It was always planned to have the carvings put on both the fore and aft of the vessel, and some other works, more wind protection and other significant play toy to go in. So that work will occur in winter.
So the end bit of the waka part was temporary?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was plywood with just a drawing of a Maori motif on it, ready for the carvings to be installed. Yeah.
Thank you. Yanni.
Well, yeah, I was just wondering, the investor ready strategy, has that been finalised, or is that something?
Yes, it has.
6th of March.
Yep, no, that's the document itself is completed. Right. You know, like all these things, it's a live piece of work, but with respect to the action plan that was in it, and we have a session booked, I believe, for next month to come back to council in a workshop session to discuss that in some more detail.
Okay, maybe that could just be noted, because the report says we're going to have one on the 6th of March, and that's not...
I think it got pushed out now to wait.
Yeah. And then I just wanted to check on the kind of Milton Street work. Can you just give us a kind of sense of how that's going, what you're looking at? I guess just really concerned at the lack of progress in residential. I think previously we've kind of asked the question, you know, what's the need for development at that location, and at what expense of other developments like housing in the inner city, for example, Eastern Frame or Sydenham Square?
So we're not actively progressing any line of work at the moment on that, other than discuss as it sits with City Care using it. Orion, we've progressed some discussions with. They require part of the site to expand the future use of their network. So although we've had you know, an idea around housing in a mixed-use type development in there, that's, you know, still remains blue sky thinking, and there are other potential options there.
Right, and just I thought there was a resolution that we look at those. I think it's the first block of social housing built in Christchurch.
Have.
Yeah. Is anyone kind of looking at that, or is that just still with council?
Yeah, that's still with council. I think at the time we looked at the land transfer and it was suggested whether that should transfer to DCL. My advice at the time was that strip should not. Right. But that I keep in regular contact with the CE of Otatahi, the Housing Trust, and if a housing development were to progress across the wider site in the future that we had involvement in, and if there was an advantage to replacing social housing in that area in one go that could be done more efficiently, then that was what we would look to try and
I
achieve.
think I was more thinking of how do we protect it from a historic point of view,
Right.
and try and find a future, you know,
Okay, I've
housing.
not looked at that in detail.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, thank you. No further questions? Jimmy?
I remember regarding to the Argo pitch
on the
co-working.
pitch.
I remember last time I asked you what's the status. So looks like this time the information is exactly the same.
Oh yes,
Any
it's
updated
just a
status?
list of the work that Creating Momentum Fund contributed towards. So there's nothing further to update on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So we've got a resolution in front of us to receive the report, which I'm happy to move. Do I have a seconder? David East. All those in favour?
All right.
Against? That's carried. Thank you very much. So then moving on to item